What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we start today's video, I want to talk about Big Red for a sec. So I think I am finally ready to sell this truck. I don't really want to sell the truck just because it is the first truck we ever built on this channel, and it kind of means a lot to me. I put a lot of work and time and money into this thing, but I got a lot of projects coming up and these trucks are not cheap to build. I am doing YouTube full time and it's not paying a lot right now, so I could use the money to build future trucks. So that is kind of the main reason I am willing to sell this thing. I know some of you guys are new here since I started the Hilux. If you guys are interested in this truck, let's check it out real quick and let's talk about it. So here's the truck. I know a lot of you guys know everything about this truck because you've watched me build it, but for those of you new to the channel, this is a 91 Toyota pickup. It's got an ALH Jetta TDI engine. Been all rebuilt. Pretty much everything's been rebuilt. I rebuilt the motor, the tranny, front axle, rear axle, obviously all the paint work, custom flatbed, but this is a TDI. It's got a 1856 turbo, bigger injectors. It's got all the goodies. It's got a stage 2 cam, H-beam rods, all that good stuff. So motor is solid. It gets, this thing on 35 gets 28 miles to gallon city. It probably gets even a little better on highway. It does have 488 gear, so that definitely helps with the mileage. But that is the truck. Here's the inside. Nothing too special on the inside. I did modify a set of Tacoma door panels with the speakers in it. Other than that, it's just got gauges. It's got a head unit, a little doubled in head unit, some bucket seats, all that good stuff. Nothing crazy on the inside. So as far as the price goes, I figured I would start at kind of around what I'm into it. Now, I'm probably about 32,000 into it, and that is not counting labor at all. That's just buying the truck and everything I've done to the truck. The truck took about 2 years to build. I figure I'll start right around there. If any of you guys are interested in the truck, I'll drop my email address down in the description box. Like I said, I really don't want to sell this thing, but I think it's time to let it go. I can't keep all my trucks. I got the 4-door Tacoma that I swapped as well. That's kind of my daily driver. I'm really enjoying that truck. So this one's honestly just sitting around. It's just collecting dust, and I figure one of you guys could put it to use. So if you're interested, head down in the description box. I'll drop my email address. You can shoot me an email. So as far as today goes, this is what we are working on. So we got some dash stuff to do. This main dash piece we're gonna paint. Now this thing's in pretty good shape. There's a little bit, I've seen a little bit of rust, I thought anyway. Maybe not, maybe it's pretty clean. Thought I saw a little bit on the, oh, right here. A little bit of bubbling right there. So we just gotta sand that down, kind of feather that out. But either way, we gotta paint that piece, this piece that runs up kind of to the windshield. We got clutch pedal, brake pedal, and then gas pedal. I want to fit all these pedals. So you can see that is busted off, and whatever, I don't even know what's supposed to be here to hook onto this pedal. Anyways, that's all broken. So we need to somehow, you know, cut this apart, rebuild a mount for this, just because it's kind of a different setup with all the linkage and everything on this pedal. It's got to be kind of factory-ish, so we're gonna have to remake the whole bottom of it. But either way, that is what we're working on. So let's get this stuff cleaned up. Some of this smaller stuff I'm going to be powder coating, probably the pedals. These brackets are a little big. Actually, I might be able to fit, if I can fit these brackets in, I'll do those as well. But the two big dash pieces, those are gonna be paint. So let's get to work cleaning this stuff up. Guys, I got a slight change of plans before we go through and paint this. So dash is in. This is the piece where the radio and the HVAC controls are. That screws on right there. What I think would be really, really cool to have in this truck is a full-size double DIN radio right here. So the only problem is the heater controls are in the way. So I'm thinking, just thinking out loud here, if I take this heater control here, you see it's just got cables. If I cut the ashtray and cigarette lighter out, I could move the cigarette lighter ashtray. I'm not too worried about losing that. Not that big of a deal to me, but I could mount the heater controls right down here, and then I'd have to make a new faceplate for that, for the radio, and then obviously mounts and everything. But I think that would be really, really cool to have a double DIN radio in here. So I think that's the game plan. I'm gonna take this thing out and cut this out and see if we can get this mounted up. We'll have to make a faceplate for that too. And I don't know, I think it'd be really, really cool. Something a little custom, and I've never seen it done before. So let's give it a shot and let's see what we can do. All right, we are ready to start cutting this dash apart. So hopefully I don't mess this up, because if I do, I'm kind of screwed. These dashes are hard to find. Really, a lot of these parts for these trucks are hard to find around here, but I got this thing marked out. I'll show you what we got. So you can see my line right there, and I'm gonna just come down, like cut an 1/8 inch off of both sides. I may be able to keep the cigarette lighter there. You can see this isn't really that wide. These were just holes for the switches, which I'm gonna have to remount, but I'm gonna cut this plate down and it should fit right where the ashtray went, and the stock cables should work. They should reach just fine. All right, check this out, guys. We got this all welded up. I put just a little bit of filler to fill in some of those little pinholes, but we got this done, mounted up, and I am really liking how this is coming together. So I think what we're gonna do now is take a little break on this. I need to figure out what I'm doing. I need to do a little research and figure out what I'm gonna make this bezel out of for the radio. Also, there's no mounts at all, so gotta figure that out. What I think I'm going to do now is get these pedals done. So I think I'm just gonna powder coat these. So let's get these torn apart and sandblasted and get those powder coated for now. Look at how good these look. I know you guys are sick of seeing me do the satin black, the stone black is what it's called. This is called ink black, which is a super high gloss black. Honestly, probably about the same gloss level as this paint in here. Actually, looks a little bit glossier. So either way, that'll go good. I was kind of debating on what color to do on these. I figured I'd just do ink black to kind of match that. So like always, this stuff is from Prismatic Powders. This is, like I said, ink black. I'll have a link down in the description box if you guys want to go check this stuff out. Amazing powder coat. Check it out, we got the pedal done. So what I ended up doing is I just got one of those long nuts that's like almost 2 inches long and drilled it out and welded it to a new mount that I built. So we are good to go here. Everything's working good. Next on the list, I want to go through this heater box, and there's a couple things I want to powder coat, maybe paint, get the single cleaned up, and then while we're powder coating other stuff, I'm gonna powder coat that little bracket as well. So let's tear this thing apart. I gotta see if I can find a new heater core for it, even though it's not leaking. I figure I might as well replace it if I can find one. So let's get to work stripping this thing apart. Well, there we have it, folks. We are back together, looking really good, much better. So if you are curious, the foam I used for these doors and the top here, the thicker foam that is for the top, this is 3/4 wide, 7/16 thick. that one, and then this one's only 3/16 thick and 1.25 wide. That's what I used for these doors here. So everything is good to go. One thing, they do not make a heater core for these, so I'm hoping this one isn't leaking. I didn't notice it when the truck was together, so hoping it'll stay together. Like I said, they don't make, at least I can't find a heater core for it. So let's throw that heater box in, and then we can also throw in the throttle pedal, which turned out really good. I did grease the pivot there. This thing works sweet. So we also powder coated the little linkage here. So actually the powder I use for that linkage and actually this whole box is just a matte black. That stuff is from Prismatic Powders like always, so go check them out. Let's get this box in. Well, there we have it, guys. We got the heater box in, throttle in. Now, this doesn't make any sense to me. See if you guys can make sense of it. So you can see this linkage here, I thought would go in here, but when you come back here, if you can see that, that linkage arm is like probably an inch and a half too low, and it doesn't go inside of that little cutout. So I don't really know what's going on. Everything's bolted in where it should be. I took pictures of this linkage before I took it out. That's how it was mounted when I got the truck, so I assume that's right. But I don't remember if this was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you do that? And why would you have this? So if you guys have one of these trucks, let me know. Let me know if that is how it's supposed to be. I can't find any pictures online, and nothing makes sense how I would be able to get that rod in this little cutout here. Well, there it is, guys. We are done, back together. So if you got one of these trucks, I think it's 75 to 78 is this style, at least for that throttle pedal. Go and look at your truck. Let me know if that little linkage piece is in the little loop on the pedal. It doesn't make any sense to me, but either way, we are done and it actually works as is. So like I said, I need to do my homework on that little radio bezel. I'm also waiting for, I picked up a head unit, it's on the way, just so I can measure everything out and get the head unit mounted. I need to make mounts that are probably gonna have to actually weld onto the dash piece that we were messing with. So that's all in the next video. So hopefully if everything goes as planned, we'll be able to get the radio in, get that bezel made, get this thing finished up, and I'm really excited to get that thing painted and in the truck, see how it looks. Well, at any rate, that is a wrap for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Go smash the thumbs up button, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.